welcome him in. And joining us today, man, he is an orthopedic surgeon, world-renowned, the chair and the associate program director at Northwell Health, specializing in foot and ankle injuries. And joining us today, as I said, man, diehard Knicks fan in his spare time, Dr. Adam Bitterman. Dr. Bitterman, how you doing, man? Welcome to KnicksFanTV, man.
I'm well. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for being.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We were just commiserating here about a tough loss. I hate losing to the Miami Heat, man. I don't know how you feel about it, but 115, 113, man. It's kind of disappointing tonight, man.
New York South, certainly not a place you want to lose, but the positive was the highlight of Jalen Brunson playing and practicing on the court. He looked great.
Yep.
So promising for perhaps a return on Wednesday.
Yeah.
A return on Wednesday.
Wow. Yeah. So what did you think when you first heard grade 1 ankle sprain? Just given your expertise and your experience.
Of course. So the ligaments are like a seatbelt on the ankle. It's something that holds bone to bone, and there are multiple on the lower ankle and some on the high ankle, and they're different animals. The sprain that Jalen Brunson sustained is a grade 1, so it's a mild tear, but it is a partial tear nonetheless. One that needs to be taken seriously, and the medical staff is doing exactly that. The main things that they're focusing on right now is swelling, pain control, and his ability to have confidence and return back to the court. In a position like him as a guard and someone who's running the offense, he needs to be able to pivot, pop a three, pass, drive to the hoop, and maneuver the ball with confidence without having to worry about pain or instability with all of his footwork that he relies on. And so it's a step-by-step process with a grade 1 taking anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks to reassess and potentially return. Now, I don't want to make any false promises, but the way he looked today tells me that the staff is positive and has a good outlook overall. He'll have a major say in how he feels in regards to his return.
So what are some of the signs that you saw from like today's shoot around that gives you the inclination he could return on Wednesday?
He was having some good lateral movement, a couple dribbles to either side, push off and pop in some good shots. He looked stable overall, but again, a practice is not like the game pressure, so it takes a little bit more time, and I'm sure they'll work on that tonight rather, tomorrow, and then leading into the game on Wednesday.
Now, it appears that this was the same ankle that he had injured against the Lakers last year, and that one was way worse. Is there, from your experience, just having a previous or an existing ankle sprain like he did last year, are you concerned about any carryover? Like, is that area a bit more unstable or a bit more susceptible to continued sprains, even at this point of the season?
100%. You're spot on, CP. So certainly one sprain can lead to additional sprains going forward. Again, that seatbelt, we want it to scar down and return to its normal state. Usually it does, sometimes it doesn't. Also, with a strict rehab protocol, you want to get the surrounding soft tissues, the surrounding muscles and tendons to be able to support him should the ankle teeter and tilt over. Again, the first quarter and the first half, for that matter, was extremely physical. A lot of bumping, a lot of pushing. Think about every rebound. You have multiple athletes going up, players going up, they come down, they land. You take it for granted until someone rolls the way that he had that inversion roll, that rolling in. It can happen again when you least expect it. It can happen, and sometimes they're unavoidable. If he's not strong enough for a return or doesn't have that confidence, he would be susceptible for a bigger injury. Absolutely.
Al, anything?
Nope. Keep going if you have something.
When you look at the conversation around these injuries, Halliburton goes down with Achilles, Tatum Achilles and Dame Achilles, and all these ankle injuries. Everybody has their theory. Is it the shoes, right? Jalen rocks the Kobe's. A lot of guys wearing the low top shoes. Is it the mileage starting from the AAU level and they're constantly going and going? The pace of the game. What do you think about when you hear all the theories in terms of why these player injuries seem to be? I mean, ankle injuries have been going on since the beginning of time, right? But especially like the Achilles and things of that nature. What do you think about when you hear some of those theories?
I used to think it was the playing surface, but I don't think that's the case much anymore. I mean, we're seeing it on hardwood, we're seeing it on grass, we're seeing it on turf. So it's happening in all different arenas, so to speak. The shoe is another thought. I was having this conversation recently where players were using the high top. Now it seems like most players are using the low top. So I don't think it's the shoe.
Mm.
These athletes are enormous human beings, and they're putting a tremendous amount of force on soft tissue day in and day out. And could it be a load issue? Potentially. But as you said, CP, players are starting at a younger age. They're playing with more intensity at a younger age, and that is one of many, many theories. But it has been raining Achilles tendons, both at the professional level, amateur level, and even at the collegiate level to a scary level.
Wow.
So,
So
so
go ahead, Al. Go ahead.
no, so my question to follow up is that, some of the things that people bring up as another theory is that the style of play for basketball now has really like increased like the Achilles and ankle injuries in the league. Do you think that is a factor as well?
It's possible. All of the maneuvers that tore Achilles tendons most recently were like a dribble drive or a takeoff, and that spontaneous push-off maneuver is similar to the NFL linemen. When they're backing up, they're planting their calf, they're planting their ankle rather, leading to a lengthening of that muscle belly. It's called an eccentric contraction, but ultimately that tendon is lengthening and then poof, it snaps. And that's when you can see that obvious reverberation up the calf.
How about I know foot and ankle is your primary specialty. OG Anunoby, that's more soft tissue with the hamstring. Any thoughts on his injury?
Same thing, could be just, I don't want to say overuse, but usually that's what these are. An overuse injury. They're just moving at a pace that we can't comprehend. We watch from the stands, we enjoy it and we're amazed at what they can do. But day in and day out, it is a large burden on the human body.
Mitchell Robinson, another person who he's coming off of ankle surgery. They have him on a load management and a minutes restriction, no back-to-backs. They started the year off skipping games. What have you made of how they're treating the Mitch situation?
Well, again, he's a big man, and pounding down low certainly puts an extra amount of stress. Again, when you compare his position to a guard like Jalen Brunson, he's got to stand his ground. He's doing a lot of push off. Jalen is doing a lot of speed and agility, going in one direction, juking, so to speak, popping a three here or there. I just think it's their size. I think it's their soft tissues. I don't necessarily think it's their conditioning. I mean, they're functioning at a level that is just unreal. But we continue to look at it and trying to figure out more solutions to prevent this from happening.
Do you think,
Go ahead, Al.
I was going to say, do you think for like athletes like Mitch or anyone like who's dealt with a lot of injuries, even like OG, do you think that the minutes restriction, do you think that like the what is it, like the load management, do you think that will help them with longevity, or do you think, because there's been like a whole debate on whether or not it works?
I don't know. I got to admit, I'm also a fan, and I imagine people who pay and they don't see their favorite player on the court, on the field, on the turf, whatever, certainly would be upset. As the medical guy, it hurts to keep someone out of their competition, of their game. So it's a balance. Some fans understand it, some fans don't. Don't come at me for that, but that's the fact. But there's no science per se of load management actually preventing these injuries.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's the league stance, and we could always make that argument whether or not we should be taking their word for it. But I think just it's hard to make that direct correlation. But it's a high stakes game, and as you said, it's a fast paced physical game. So we'll just have to wait and see. But from your perspective, we have good news on the way for Captain Clutch Jalen Brunson. Like, he could be returning maybe in a week or two, maybe less.
He looked good. I mean, again, practice is not what we saw today. It's not the same as game level competition. There wasn't any pushing and shoving. There wasn't any ground and pound. He wasn't making major moves to the hoop. but being out there dressed with sneakers on, socks, it looked like he had a little extra padding. Maybe his ankle was wrapped, which would make sense. And so it's a stepwise progression, and he's certainly heading in that right direction.
You know, fans started to panic when the initial reaction was that he left MSG in a walking boot and crutches. Is that seems like more precautionary just to keep the swelling down?
Totally normal. Totally normal. The crutches and the boot is purely for symptom relief, pain relief. He was probably icing the heck out of his ankle once he got back. Even today, I'm sure after his activities, he's doing certain modalities to limit the swelling, limit the soft tissue inflammation and irritation, and ultimately helping him with his pain.
There you go, man. Now, I was quick to learn that your next door neighbor is one of our guys on Knicks Twitter, man. So with 6 degrees of separation, it was only a matter of time before you came here tonight.
That's right. He was going to come into the studio today. I don't know if he's watching, but I had to keep him away. I had to keep him at bay.
There you go, man. Shout out to him. What's your Knicks fan origin story like, man? How did you become a big fan of the Knicks, man?
It happened actually with my son, my 10-year-old, who's a big fan.
Nice.
He's actually watching the show in the room next door before bedtime. It's getting a little late for him.
There we go.
I was always a fan, grew up on Long Island, and he's becoming an increasing fan. So it's super exciting. We come to the Garden quite a bit, and we'll see where they go.
That's great, man. Well, listen, man, we definitely appreciate the time. We know it's late. We know it's late for you as well. A lot of hard and important work that you do there for the community. But hopefully this is not the last, and hopefully we can bring you back and talk Knicks, talk injury report. Hopefully not too many. Last year, we didn't have much to talk about, but this year, it's early, man. You got Mitch, Brunson, OG.
There's a lot at stake. There's a lot at play. Again, it's early. You're absolutely right. They know how to manage this. They'll get through it. Both OG and Jalen will be back. Hopefully Jalen comes back this week. If not, early next week.
There we go. Dr. Bitterman, thanks again for the time, man. We'll see you next time, man.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thanks so much.